Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing today. Myself, I'm doing fantastic too. Thanks for asking. On today's episode and workshop, I really want to discuss goal setting, right? And achieving those goals. Matter of fact, even more so, setting systems. Because it's not a matter of having a goal, it's more so of having a system in place so that you can achieve those goals. So I put together a really dope workshop, and I really hope that you guys enjoy it because, if you ever struggle with setting clear goals, achieving goals, or you ever felt overwhelmed by distractions, this is a really good workshop that's going to be able to help you kind of clarify a lot of the things that you need to clarify so that you can really start achieving those goals and become the best version of yourself. That's really why we're here, right? To become the best versions of ourselves. So I got a dope workshop put together. Like I said, we're going to dive onto my laptop and I'm going to see you guys there. Hey guys, thanks for jumping on my laptop with me and going through this workshop that I put together in presentation. Hope you guys really enjoy it, and get some ideas hopefully to be able to take away from this so that it can assist you with the goals and the outcomes that you're looking for, right? So let's dive right into this, right? So this is going to be called the Goal Mastery Blueprint, right? Transforming how you set and achieve your goals. This blueprint will guide you through proven strategies to clarify your vision and create unstoppable momentum. Because a lot of the times our goal lack clarity, right? So it's really important for us to have a clear vision of where we're trying to get to so that, we will at least be able to navigate that path, right? That we've created for ourselves. Cool. Why most people fail at goals? I mean, first and foremost, a lot of us don't even make goals, right? But majority of people fail because, we have vague intentions. Like, okay, I want to be able to, lose X amount of weight, this year. Okay, so how do you plan on doing that? What exercises do you plan on doing? How much times do you plan on going to the gym? Things like that, which defines exactly how you plan on achieving your goals, makes it so much easier for you to achieve those goals as opposed to just saying, I want to lose weight, I want to make money, right? Like it says, get fit, save money. They lack specificity. So you need to be specific with the things that you want to change in order for them to change, right? Number 2, no tracking. What you don't track, you can't measure. So it's really important for you to track and measure the things that you are planning on achieving. Without measurements, you can't manage progress. Many people never establish concrete checkpoints. What's a checkpoint? So let's say, I want to lose weight. Okay, we're going to go on that because, a lot of us go on that and it's really easy. A lot of us want to lose weight. Okay, let's start with the week. I'm going to work out 3 times this week, right? Checkpoints. And then every day that you do work out, you check yourself by tracking yourself to say, okay, I've worked out today. By the end of the week, 7 days, you can look back and see that, the progress that you have made, right? Motivation drops. Motivation is something that we don't wake up in the morning with. In the morning, you wake up with X amount of glycogen levels. Glycogen levels is energy spikes that we have in our brain. That's why the majority of successful billionaires or rich people wake up extremely early in the morning and they get a lot done early in the day because they know that by the time later on in the day hits, they're getting tired, their glycogen levels are dropping, and they're going to be exhausted. They're not going to have that high, vibrant energy that they're going to have early in the day. The early bird gets the worm, kind of cliche phrase that you hear. So, you need to initiate that excitement. You need to have that excitement. Okay, I'm going to do this. Yes, it's going to be hard to get yourself motivated into doing it initially, but after you get yourself into it, it gets so much easier. And then again, we have muscle memory and we create habits. Our body is a unique specimen. We can create habits and muscle memory so that you're doing something that just comes naturally. Like those who've been driving for X amount of years, you drive without a second thought because you've done it so many times. You brush your teeth without a second thought. You've done it so many times. Muscle memory. Once you get your body conditioned to doing anything, you can accomplish anything. Environmental sabotage. A lot of us, I've heard growing up, and I think I suffered from this because when I was younger, like I mentioned it, I got into a lot of trouble and I was hanging out with a lot of negative influences. And I had moved, I had kids early, so I moved and I was living upstate and I came back to New York City. I'm from New York. And I was just so drawn back into just the whole environment that all of the progress that I made from when I moved, I lost it all because I came right back into the mire, the ground zero of all of the nonsense, and got right back into it. So I self-sabotage myself by my environment. Ty Lopez said it too. If you watch one of his videos, he says it doesn't matter how smart you are, it doesn't matter how extremely talented you are. The one thing that's going to bring you down is your environment. It's really important to understand your environment, right? The solution to this, setting goals the right way, systems, right? It's not goals, it's systems. Keep that in mind. When I say goals and systems should be intertwined, right? A crystal clear vision of what you're going to do. Define exactly what success looks like to you. I know we all have vision boards. We all are doing manifestations nowadays. We're all praying. We're all more spiritual, we're all, talking in high vibrations, we're talking all high level, all of that is great because it all adds to the person that we're becoming, but you also want to have a clear vision, right? People even visualization, you hear about it, and Dr. Joe dispenses. Everybody speaks about these things, a lot of these things, even some of the other YouTube, pioneers speak about, like Nero and a lot of other people, a lot of things that we already have within ourselves. It's just a matter of us developing those skills, right? Structure frameworks. You want to have those structure. What's the structure that you're going to have with this framework? Okay, what am I going to do from A to Z? What are the steps that I'm going to take in order for me to achieve these goals? Really important, right? You can use SMART goals, like I mentioned in some of my previous videos, or the OKR method, right? Objective, key, results, kind of strategy. They all kind of do the same thing, but it's just whichever one, resonates more with you. The measurement system, again, tracking progress. It's really important. You can't measure what you don't track. Even when you're working out or you have a, let's say you go to the gym and you get a trainer, right? He's giving you a track sheet. There's something that you need to track, right? You have to track that. You go to work, you have to track your progress, right? If you're in sales, you got to track how many calls you make. It seems to be with everything, even ourselves, it's important that we track it, right? It's going to be able to help us see and look back to see where we came from so that we can look forward to know that we're where we're going, right? Emotional connections, right? You want to link goals to deeper values. Like, what's your why? We hear this all the time. What's your why? Well, I want because I just want to be rich, or why because I just want to be fit. I want this. No, sometimes majority of men and women want to be fit because they want to look better in their clothes. Why? Because they want to attract the right person. Why? Because they are looking to get into a serious relationship. Why? Because most of the time they want to get married. Maybe they want to get laid. Maybe they want to, there's always a deeper why, even with wealth and why? Because I want status. Why? Because I want to take care of my family. Why? Because it goes deeper. I want freedom. Why? Because I'm tired of struggling. Why? Because my family never had money. Why? Because maybe my mom's is broke. Like that, we always have a deeper why, right? So go dive deep and then dive long. Pause. But yeah, that. Anyway, SMART goals. I know a lot of you already know this. Just what the acronym stands for. The SMART. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Right. These are some of the strategies that you can use in order for you to kind of create your goals. Right. Your goal setting, your systems. Right. Again, they're intertwined. This is a systematic approach for you to become successful. Remember, we're all characters, right? We build these characters. We've developed these characters from young, to who we are today. So it's important that if you don't like the character that you are, it's not depression, it's not self-hate. It's just a matter of you deciding that, maybe I need to just change or tweak some things in my personality, that's going to make me develop into a better person, such as myself. Again, like you guys, like I talk about it a lot. I was not the nicest person, right? I was a bad boy, as you want to call that. I got into a lot of trouble. I went to the big house. I went to jail. But I decided on learning. I decided on educating myself. I decided on, this is not going to serve me in the long run, right? I'm either going to continue being here or I'm going to be 6 feet deep. So I had to make the decision and change my character. I had made the decision to start reading more books. I made the decision to start crafting my personality, to become a better person. I made the decision to understand, love myself so that I can love others. You can never love others until you love yourself, until you fully love yourself. Yeah, you can love how you look. Yeah, you can love how you dress. But until you fully love yourself, you will never be able to fully love others. And that took me a long time. So now I can really give out love and love people, unconditionally, the way that God loves us, right? But these are some frameworks that you can put together. Like I mentioned, the OKR system, right? Objective, key, results, qualitative and aspirational goals, right? That provide direction and meaning. They inspire and they challenge you. Right? Okay, align with your mission. What's your mission, right? The questions we all ask ourselves. Significant and concrete. Okay, this is what I want to do. I want to do this because of this, and it's for that reason, right? And make sure that they're action orientated. They're not just, these vague, mission statements that you just throw up in the air thinking that something's going to come of it, right? And you want key results, right? The specific, can't speak today, measurable outcomes, right? So you want to track all of that. You want to make sure you want to measure those milestones. You want to aggressively yet realistically, know the things that you can achieve, but be aggressive with it. Be hungry, but also be realistic. Don't think that you can eat eat an elephant all at once, right? It's piece by piece. So, in a time bound, what's the duration? You want to be able to measure that. So the lesson in this part of it is, the takeaway, I should say, is a goal without a clear plan is just a wish. You're just wishing, okay, well, I can't wait till next year that I'm a multi-millionaire. All right, yeah, sounds fantastic because, a lot of people have done it in months. What are you going to do? How are you going to, what steps are you going to take to achieve that? Really important. The myth of working harder, I should say, right? The downside of the hustle culture, working long hours often leads to burnout. No better results. Quality trumps quantity every day, right? So you're hustling for what, right? Okay, we all hustle to get that bread, but then what? At the end of our lives, we lose all that time. Yeah, we make millions of dollars, but then we lose all that time with our family. And our family didn't want money; they just wanted our time. The systems over willpower, right? They're designed environments that are in routines that serve you, right? Make sure that they serve you. Don't create a routine that doesn't serve you. Then what are we doing, right? You're working backwards. Strategic effort. Focus on high leverage activities. Identify 20% of the actions that create 80% of the results. The Pareto principle, right? The 80-20 principle. So identify that and work with that. Make that work in your favor. Deliberately rest. Like, you have to recover, similar to your muscles. We're getting big, we're pumping it out, but if you're not resting, then what? You're not going to see any results. Find your productivity peaks, similar to what I was mentioning earlier about the glycogen levels and, knowing when you're really, majority of successful people do it early in the morning, but there are a lot of people who, are really successful at working at night. That's their zone. They know exactly what to do. They've carved out this time frame in their mind and they know how to get shit done. Do that for yourself, right? Find out which one works best for you. Are you a morning person? Peak cognitive performances early in the morning? Are you a night owl? Right? You want to ask yourself these questions. Reach peak creativities in the evening hours, just like I was mentioning. Are you in the middle somewhere there? In the middle, a peak performer, and you know how to maneuver during the day. That's when you really wake up and you're just like, oh man, I'm ready to attack the day kind of thing. Track your energy. You want to be able to track your energy and monitor your energy levels hourly for a week. Write everything down. I can't remember the YouTuber's name, so I can credit him. But he definitely suggests some really good stuff as, write down everything that you do at every hour. Track it. This way you'll know where the majority of your day is spent. Is it spent on social media? Is it spent just gossiping on the phone? Is it spent just daydreaming, Or is it spent really, being productive, getting closer to the outcome that you want? The takeaway here for it is a routine eliminates decision fatigue, right? And it makes success inevitable. Sometimes we get indecisive. That's because we don't have a routine. So it's like, okay, I'm going to do. You don't know what to do you're filling your life with pleasure and not purpose. Especially men, right? Habit stacking. Anything stacking is really good. I like time stacking personally. So I time stack myself, and time blocking, right? It's really important that we do this, especially in today's day and age when you're just bombarded with all of this information, again, from your phone to the laptop to the TV to your friends to your family to your coworkers. Like, it's just a bombardment of time sucking energy, wasting time. Yeah, that. So you gotta be able to know exactly how you want to be able to utilize, and be more efficient with the time that you have, right? You want to link new habits to existing behaviors, right? After I brush my teeth, I'll meditate for 2 minutes, right? This is something similar to what I do, not literally this, but in the mornings after I get up, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I probably get my coffee because I'm a coffee guy, that's my time for God, right? That's my prayer time. So I'm early in the morning, I'm praying, I'm thinking through my day, I'm giving thanks, I'm giving gratitude, then I'm getting into, my workout, then I'm getting into, everything else throughout the day, right? I always have my time for just, visualizing, everything else that I want to be doing and I want to become. It took me a while to do this, right? And find out which one works best for me, because I used to do my prayers at night and then, but it's up to the individual, right? It's really up to you to find out which one works best for you. So try to figure out what works best and utilize it, right? And if it don't work, iterate, right? Test it out. If it's not something that works for you, try something else. Try enough things until you find out which one works best for you, right? Time blocking, like I mentioned, blocks of time where you're not looking at your phone, you're not talking to anybody, you're not doing nonsense things, but you're focusing in on what you need to do, right? Theme days, what days are really work for you? What are some of the days that are beneficial for you to get shit done, right? Okay, if Wednesday is the day, then Wednesday you should be doing, video creation. If Friday is the day, then Friday you should be content writing, right? You should find out which one works best for you. As you guys know, I live next to a church, so you're always going to hear church bells ringing. Thank you, Father, for this day. Anyway, buffer time zones, right? You want to be able to add transition times in between the blocks. Okay, if you're I can't remember, I think this guy, my guy over here, Alex Hormozi, got a bunch of books over here. I think Alex Hormozi had mentioned it, do 30 minutes, 20, 30, 40 minutes of really tough work, really focused work, and then, do a couple of minutes of just, chilling. And then go back in and do it again, right? This way you get a lot done as you're operating at a high level, right? In the science of distractions, everything is a science, right? It's a science to the energy, there's a science to the frequency, there's a science to success, there's a science to wealth, there's a science to happiness, there's a science to health, right? So here's the science of distractions, right? Distraction triggers, notifications, thought interruptions, because we think over 50,000 thoughts, right? And within the day. So, we're always thinking something else. So it's really important that you organize your mind to stay focused on the task at hand and not necessarily thinking some random that just comes into your head, right? And attention shifts, right? The brain switches, again, like I mentioned with the thoughts. So the brain switches to new stimuli. As I'm talking to you guys, there's birds flying outside, there's cars passing by, the breeze is blowing. So there's so many different stimuli that's going on, but I have my brain focused on the attention and the task at hand. So it's important that we train our brain. Brain is a muscle, right? The same way you train any other part of your body. You want to train that. Task switch course, right? So when you're doing, say you want to do a number of different things within the day, right? It takes a amount of time for your brain to switch from one thing to the next. So I, like mentioning to stacking, like in the previous slide, I like to stack things that are cohesive with each other, right? So if I'm video recording and editing and everything else, that's all that. I'm not going to video record, then jump over to create a blog content, or jump over just to, to create a course. I'm not going to try to do all that in one day, because those are different things, right? So you want to stack things that just make it easier for you to accomplish whatever task you're trying to accomplish, that are kind of in line with each other. Right, the recovery period, like I said, 23 minutes to regain deep focus. Right, so you can take a break. Even put a time on your phone. I do that a lot, actually. Put a time on my phone. If I need 20 minutes just to rest my brain, I'll collect my thoughts, and then come at it again. So it's important for us to kind of remember we are operating systems. Similar to AI, similar to the computer and laptop that I'm using right now, that you're probably watching me on too, on your phone or your laptop. We also need to be able to, power down and power back up. But remember, keep the task in line so that it's easier for you to accomplish them. And productivity loss, right? Quality and quantity of work diminish when you're just all over the place, right? And then you feel like I didn't do anything. And I hate the feeling of not being productive, to be honest. It's like, okay, what am I doing with myself? Like I'm twiddling my thumbs over here, right? So you want to be able to kind of find out what's best suited for you, so that you can be able to work these things into your life, right? Because that's all really what it's all about. Each interruption costs more than just the moment, right? Think about that. Like an interruption costs more than just the moment that you're being interrupted in. It's time that you can never get back, man. Time is a commodity that we will never get back. We can get a lot of things back. You can make money back. You can get a car back. You can get another house. But time is something that you will never get back, right? So always remember that. Let me move my head so you guys can read this. Research shows that it takes 23 minutes on average to fully regain focus after distraction. That's a lot of time. Think about it. 23 minutes. It's like, okay, it was 23 minutes. That's nothing. Stack that on top of each other. That could be a damn day, in a week, or 2 weeks, or a month. Think about it. All right, cool. Yeah, so absolutely. So there's some other strategies that you can do. Is use the Eisenhower matrix, right? The quadrant that you've probably seen before. Draw a line, a square box like you're about to do tic-tac-toe, but just for quadrants. And in the quadrants, put urgent and important, not so urgent, urgent and not important, not urgent and not important, in those 4 quadrants, right? And then from there, you'll be able to see, okay, what are some of the things I need to focus on early in the morning, right? There's a book that the name escapes me, but it's called Eat That Frog, right? It's from a great salesman. His face is in my mind, but I know if you guys know, put it in the chat, because but I know where I heard it from, and I read the book actually. So it's called Eat the Frog, which basically means put the important things first and do the important things first, right? It's really important for you to do that. Is it Zig Ziglar? No, it's not Zig Ziglar. It's another guy. Anyway, so it's named after President Eisenhower, right? The matrix helps you prioritize by distinguishing between what's truly important versus merely urgent, right? Many people spend too much time in the urgent quadrants. True productivity comes from dedicating more time to important but not urgent tasks, right? So you get caught up in, it's urgent, but it's not important. Okay, yeah, maybe urgent for you to do it now, but if it's not important and moving the needle, then you should question, is this something that I need to do right now, or can this wait until later, right? If you don't control your focus, distractions will control you. I'm gonna say that again. If you don't control your focus, distractions will control you. So for those of us who are control freaks, which I tend to be, and I know a lot of Virgos are, because I'm a Virgo, and I know a lot of women are. You guys are control freaks. If you don't control your focus, distractions are going to control you. So keep that in mind. Why motivation fails, right? I know everybody's like, well, I need more motivation, right? You hear this all the time. I need more motivation. Motivation is nothing without you really applying yourself, right? Motivation is something, it's like happiness, right? We choose happiness. You choose to be motivated. You choose to wake up and say, I'm going to do this today. It doesn't choose you. You choose it, right? So one is expectancy, right? You believe believe you can succeed, right? This is you. All right, I'm going to succeed, but if you're not doing the things to succeed, then you're going to lose motivation, right? The value, your personal importance. Okay, you can use this as motivation. If you feel personally important that, oh, I really need to do this because I need to take care of my family, you can use that as fuel. But if you just think that your personal importance is going to give you motivation, you're ass backwards. That's not how it works, right? Impulsiveness, tendency to just get distracted all over the place. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do all of these fly things, but nothing is moving the needle, right? Nothing is bringing in anything substantial. You're just getting busy with being busy, right? And you feel like you're being productive, but it's not actually getting you closer to where you want to be. I've fallen into this a couple of times too. Like, oh, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing a number of different things. Yeah, I'm busy. Hey, yo, Jay, where you at? I'm busy right now. I'm busy right now, but I'm busy not necessarily moving the needle. So get busy with the things that are in line with what you want to accomplish, right? And then delay, time until reward, right? So if we don't see results, I think this is a human thing. If you do X amount of things and you don't see results in the time frame that you expect, you get very disappointed, which leads to a lack of motivation. Disappointment should also be up here because that leads to lack of motivation. If you start to get disappointed with just your life, with just the outcome, with just putting in effort and just not seeing results, I know I've suffered from that too. You become really just disheartened, and then your motivation starts to dwindle, and you're like, what's the point? Like, nothing's happening anyway, so why should I even do anything, right? And that's just the enemy, the trick of the enemy, because he knows that he knows that you can achieve what you want to achieve, but the enemy is going to play those games with your mind and have you feel like, what? No, you're not going to achieve. Relax. You're right. You put in enough effort. It's not going to happen. What's the point? It'll tell you all these things, and then as biases, we're looking for self-confirming. We're looking for self-confirmation of those biases that we have in our mind, and we're just like, what? You're right. What's the point? And then we give up when we're literally right there at the borderline of success, right? The motivation equation shows why enthusiasm naturally declines. Motivation equals enthusiasm times value, divided by impulsiveness times delay. That's the formula, right? As to why a lot of motivation and a lot of people fail. If you can't take a snap of this formula, keep it in mind, because that's the formula right there for failure. Now you can change that and create a formula for success by knowing where failure lies, right? To maintain motivation, increase your confidence, right? And the value you place on goals, not just yourself, but on the goals and the systems. Remember, goals and systems are intertwined in this workshop, right? I'm actually changed the word just so that it sounds, because it's going to give so much more power, right? Increase your confidence and the value you place on the systems you create, right? Simultaneously reduce distractions and create shorter feedback loops. What's a feedback loop? It's the things we tell ourselves all the time, or the things that we experience over and over again, right? If you keep experiencing failure, what do you think is going to happen, right? But if you keep experiencing little successes, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to start to feel successful. You're going to start to feel more worthy of success, right? Be careful of those feedback loops. Feedback loops also are dangerous if you are a very depressed person, or a person that who think a lot of negative thoughts. You're just feeding back that loop of negativity, which sometimes leads the person to suicide, because they have those suicidal thoughts, and if they just keep feeding it back, that's what happens. So it's important to understand those feedback loops and be aware of the thoughts that are going through your head. Remember, this is a machine. Sometimes it works for us, and 9 times out of 10 it works against us, unfortunately. Okay, cool. Are we going up? We should be going back. Anyway, okay. The weekly win method, right? This is going to be able to help you create more confidence within yourself. Set your plan. Snap this if you guys have a chance to, right? You have your Monday. You plan your wins. Set specific 3 to 5, achievable wins throughout the week. Number 2, daily, track your progress. What am I doing? What am I doing every hour? Try that for a week. and just see where your time is, where your focus is, and then look back, and then from there you can evaluate where you stand, right? On Friday, celebrate and review, right? Because you've tracked all week. You don't necessarily have to go to Sunday. You can track from Monday to Friday, track all week, and then, celebrate. I've done something progressive, right? I've gotten myself a step further than where I was yesterday, right? That's success. That's why I started off this video saying I'm proud of you. Like, you woke up today. You jumped on this video. You decided on wanting to educate yourself further, right? It's a stepping stone towards your better future, better version of yourself. I'm proud of you. A lot of us don't hear that enough, right? Sunday, you want to reflect, you want to rest, you want to get your mind in order, use your weekends, not necessarily for partying and hanging out, even though I used to do that. It was a waste of time, a lot of waste of time. Anyway, but you can now, collect your thoughts. What are you going to do? How are you going to continue to build this business and become the entrepreneur that you want to become, right? Motivation fades. Systems and consistency win every time. The execution scale, right? You want to master systems, just like I mentioned. You want to have those, those in operations, and then you want to optimize it, right? Being consistent. Consistency is really the formula to eliminating failure, to be honest. I mean, if you're consistent in the wrong things, yeah, you can potentially still fail, but you know what? You're learning. So you're not really failing because you never really gave up, right? So you're still learning. And then from there, you can kind of iterate, right? You can pivot. Okay, I may be doing the wrong thing, but then, but because you're being consistent, that consistency is going to show you something else where you can kind of pivot to and utilize the knowledge and skills that you acquired to apply it to that, right? Your frameworks, right? You want to have a framework that you can utilize and you can work that's going to work for you, right? And then your foundation. What are your core habits, right? If you have bad habits and you're trying to be successful and you're trying to do this, let me tell you right now, my friend, it's not going to work, right? How do you get rid of those bad habits? Replace them, right? Don't just quit. I'm going to quit cigarettes. Yeah, but what are you going to replace it with, right? Replace it with something positive, working out, reading books, going for a walk, talking to somebody that's speaking at a high level, going to masterminds, right? We can't just quit something and think that it's going to go away. No, you need to replace it with something, better. Success is never about a single heroic effort, right? It's built through consistent applications of systems that compound over time. Start with foundational habits, right? That make other good behaviors easy. Build frameworks that can be replicated and scaled as you grow. They grow also. Right? Accountability and public commitment, right? There's a lot of people love accountability partners. You can definitely jump into that. There are communities, if you can jump into that are doing the things that you want to do. They're going to hold you accountable and help you along the way. Absolutely. School is a great place that you can jump into that. Facebook groups, was really hot. They're still popping. Some of them are still popping for different, things that you want to jump into. I lost my train of thought right there, but you can definitely utilize those, right? Especially if they help you. Don't join something that's not going to help you, right? Especially if it's irrelevant from what you're trying to achieve. Then you're working backwards, right? We achieve more when others are watching. Public commitment increases follow through by 65%, according to research. So, having that accountability partner is really key. And half of the time, you don't even need to go anywhere. You can use your family, right? You can use your friends. They can be the ones that say, yo, bro, have you done this? Yo, sis, have you done that? To be able to help you really grow and do what you need to do. Consider these proven accountability methods. Mastermind groups, like I mentioned, accountability partners, social media declarations. Like this year I'm going to do, now if you put that out there, people are going to come back and say, hey, did you ever accomplish that? Now they're going to hold you accountable, or progress tracking apps. You can also get an app on your phone. There are hundreds of them nowadays that you can use. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Just start and adjust as you go. I'm a Virgo, so there's a perfectionist this to me. So it's always like, all right, things need to be perfect. All right, I needed this, I needed that, or I need to do this, so I need to go here. Like, scratch all that nonsense. I don't care. I hope you guys care enough to get it done, but don't care enough to, worry about all the nonsense things that that's not even gonna help anything. So that's what I mean when I say I don't care. About you guys, I care a lot. About doing this for you guys and helping you guys, I care a lot. But about my background, maybe my hair may be a little messed up. I may stutter a little bit. I may mix up words here and there. I'm human, right? So I'm not going to worry so much about that. Whereas in the past, I may have. I don't anymore, right? I want you guys to be able to get to that level too, where you're just applying yourself, putting yourself out there. Cool. As you know, you have your 90-day execution plan, right? Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than it takes 90 days. It takes 67 days to really get yourself locked in, on just changing of habits. 21 days for a habit in your mind to really take flight. 68 days for yourself to really form that habit. 90 days for you to kind of see the results of the habit that you've changed, right? So have this execution plan. Take a snapshot. Let me take myself out of it. I know I'm handsome and everything, but you guys may not want me in your snapshot. Right? Yeah, snap that. So you guys can definitely use this. Cool. Final results, man. It's really important for you guys to take action. The recap of all of this is create a system. Create a system that works for you. You, not anybody else. Everybody else has their systems, right? That works for them. Create one that works for you. That's best for you. Utilize that system. If it doesn't work, iterate, change it, right? Start to pivot on different things. Subtract things from it. Add things to it, right? This is your system. This is what you are creating. You're creating your own AI system for yourself, not online or anything, but for yourself in real life, in real time, right? Know what you need to do. You already know. Set clear goals, right? Set clear systems up, right? How are you going to become a millionaire? Okay, I'm going to create this kind of business. Okay, with this business, who is it going to help? Okay, why do you want to create this business? What is it going to accomplish? Where are you going to promote this business to? Who's going to want this? These are the things that you need to ask yourself so that you know how you're going to become successful. Same thing with working out. If you want to lose weight, what are you going to? How much times a day are you going to go to the gym? How much workouts are you going to do during the week? Throughout the month time, how many calories should you have lost? Track all of that, right? Master your routines. It's really important. Again, this is your routine, not anybody else's. Stay focused. Eliminate distractions. I think out of this, distractions are really going to be the hardest thing for a lot of people because we like to be distracted because it's easy, right? It's easy to be distracted watching somebody else's life, watching TV, being on social media, hanging out with our friends. It's really easy. That's the easy path. But then you realize as you get older that, that was a waste of time, right? You could have been doing and applying yourself to so much different things. So for those of you who are younger now, eliminate distractions, man. Unless that distraction is a business model that you have and you're working on, then you can use it. But if it's just a distraction for distraction's sake, you need to reevaluate that. I'm telling you now. As somebody who's slightly older, for real. So take action now, right? So in the link below in the description, I'm going to put a free links to the Goal Mind Mastery. It's going to be called the Achieve Your Goals. You're going to get an ebook in there. There's a tool stack of some of the things that you can utilize. Ebook discussing a lot of things that we have here, right? There's going to be a workbook that you can use to track yourself and everything else. Potentially a checklist is going to be in there as well. All you need to do is log in to Empire Mastery. Sign up, log in, and you get it for free. Download it for free. Plus, there's a lot of other free downloadables if you go through it. That's going to be able to just help you guys. Get you started and get you moving and motivated in the direction that you need to be. Right. This video is going long enough, so I hope you guys are having a fantastic rest of your day. And I'll see you guys later on the next workshop.